Hey folks, welcome along to Type R Tweaks. Well, today's not a great day for doing anything outside for the car. So I'm going to do some inside work today. Today we're actually going to fit a short shifter. If you're like me, can't quite afford the hybrid racing short shifter and opted for the kind of, I'll say the cheap eBay equivalent, then that's what I'm fitting today. So with the weighted gear knob and this kind of short shifter kit, I'm hoping that's going to make a huge difference to the throw of the gear stick. Now, I'm saying the cheap eBay kit. I actually got this from a fellow Type R Scotland member, subscriber to the channel as well, Phil Parkin. Phil kindly gave me the short shifter to put on my car after I think it was after the weighted gear knob install, when I said I was looking to get short shifter. Phil had one and essentially donated it to the channel, so thank you Phil, appreciate that, and we'll hopefully get that on today. We're going to also show you, a lot of the short shifter videos, people describe the throw, sometimes it's not always as clear. We're hopefully going to show you actually measure the throw on each, from the old style, the OEM, to this short shifter kit, just to give you an idea, so that if it is something you want to do, you've got a better idea of what the throw is going to look like once it's finished. And then I'll obviously describe how it feels, but you'll certainly be able to see it. So a little bit of a scientific approach, hopefully. So we'll get that on the car. I'll just describe a bit of the process that I'm going to go through to get that on, and we'll see how it looks. So just to measure the throw of the car currently, I've made up a little makeshift kind of measuring device. Put a little indicator down on the gear stick, just so that we can get a bit of an idea of what it's going to be like before, and then we'll do the same once the short shifter's installed, and we'll get an idea of the difference, just to show you. So as you've seen there, it was probably just under 2 inches throw front and back, so it'll be interesting to see what the throw's going to be like when the short shifter's on. And we'll do the same exercise again, just so you can compare, and we'll maybe put a little snapshot of the differences between them. So for everybody who knows, how to take the centre console off and all the dash trim, I'm going to just skip to the actual sort of gear shifter itself. But if you aren't aware of how to take that all off, stick around to the end of the video, and I'll put a couple of videos up around the trim removal, just anything that you might need to know that you don't already. You can see that there. But for everyone else, we'll just jump straight to the actual shifter and go from there. So to get these off, the sort of shifter cables, it's just there's two kind of retainer clips. Same down here, these little clips that move to the side, and then you're able to pop that off. We're not doing anything with this side, it's mainly the bottom section that we're doing today. So that's the kind of this ball protector or sleeve off. So this was a satin here. You actually get a tool with the kit that you pretty much just slip in here and then pull off that this protector. And what we're looking to do is essentially put this onto the shifter, which extends that out. You have to then put this ball back on here and then connect up the gear linkage. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just clean this up, put a bit of grease on the bottom of here, put that on, and then attach it onto here and see how we get on. So that's the kind of blue ball joint thing attached to the new extender for the short shifter. Now you could either try and put this on by hand. I found actually just using one of these little clamps just helped put a bit of pressure on it and it popped down. But yeah, the main thing is just to try and get this on. Greased it up, now it's on. So the next job is actually to start cutting away a section here to allow it all to, when it all goes back together, that you can actually get into each of the gears. So for me this is going to be a Dremel job. Hopefully try and get a hoover hooked up as well, just so that we limit the amount of kind of plastic stuff that's going everywhere. So we'll see how that works out. So that's us ready to go. We've got the Dremel here, nice Ryobi tool, and we've got the hoover hooked up. I'm just trying to place it here as close as we can to get any of the black sort of plastic that's going to come off of this. So Henry, you got this? Good. Right, here we go. So started doing a bit of Dremel in the car with the hoover all set up, but access is just not great, and I'm going to say Gareth Expression Culture already told me you're better just taking the assembly out and, you know, probably get better access. You don't get any of the plastic all over the car despite having a hoover there. So Gareth, this is the second time that you've told me something and I've not listened the first time, so I'm listening now. I've got it off the car, and we'll be able to do the, you know, just shave that little recess in to allow the gears to basically link up and not get falling. So here we go. So hopefully you can see that's, you know, that edge was probably up to about here, so we've took that right down. Hopefully that should be enough to clear it. Now we need to take these out, because these are being replaced with the kind of washers that come in the kit. So these actually sit underneath on the car, and then the bolt goes through here. So we'll get these ones off and get the new ones on in the car. So if you're ever having to take this unit off for doing this exercise, or if you're putting one of the sort of hybrid racing shifters on, you'll see these sort of sections here. Oops. And here, the actual sort of gear linkage cables sit in, and the way to get them out, it's like a twist fit. So once it's in there, if you twist towards the passenger side, it kind of twists and then releases. Same with this cable, and then that allows you to release the housing itself. So I'm just going to do the reverse of that and get it back in, and then get those new kind of washers that's part of the short shifter kit in, and then we'll hook it all up and we'll do a few gear changes just to make sure that it's not fouling before putting everything back together. So that's it all in. We've got the new collars, or the kind of washers underneath. The original bolts either side, they're all tightened down. Seems to be going into each of the gears okay. And even when you look down here, we've got clearance. So I'm going to just put the kind of gear knob back on, take it out for a little drive just to make sure before I put everything else back on, just in case I need to file down a little bit down here, but I don't think so. But it's worth doing that little test before you put everything together, and then you realise you have to take it back off. So let's see how that goes. And then what we'll do is we'll do a kind of before and after with the little measuring device again, just to give you an idea of the difference between OEM and this short shifter. And then maybe one day, if I can afford a hybrid racing setup, we can maybe do a comparison with that. So you'll see OEM short shifter kit and the actual hybrid racing short shifter as well. But that's maybe for another day. So that's everything back on, all the trims back together, screwed on, clips on, you name it. So we're now going to give it a try and give a bit of a comparison to the OEM, just to see where the throw goes to. So remember, the OEM went to just before 2 inches going forward, and just before 2 inches going back the way. So we'll see what this does. So there we have it. Quite a big difference. I mean, it was probably about 3/4 of an inch or so difference in the throw, and you really do notice it going through the gears out in a drive and stuff. The only part to get used to is if you've ever had a bit of a notchy second to third gear shift, and sometimes you don't feel it's quite in. You get that same sensation with a short shifter initially, because you don't think it's quite in, like because you're not throwing it as far as you did before. So that takes a little bit getting used to, but definitely a big difference, especially with the weighted gear knob as well. Yeah, really happy with it. It would be interesting to compare this with the actual hybrid racing shifter. So that's one for the Christmas list, I think. Yeah, and it would be good to actually see that comparison from OEM to the short shifter kit to the hybrid racing short shifter. But yeah, not really happy with it. Thanks again to Phil, who donated that to the channel. Works a treat, and just another modification to the car. Something that anybody could do, and a relatively cheap upgrade to get that, I suppose, similar feeling to the hybrid racing shifter for a fraction of the price. But I think ultimately, if I had the money, I would have went for the hybrid racing short shifter. So yeah, that's it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, stick around if you want to see a few clips and videos about how to take off the centre console and the dash trim. I'll leave that on there for people who've maybe not done that before, or maybe daunted by the fact about doing that. It is pretty easy, so stick around and you'll see that. But yeah, until next time, thanks again to Tactical Racing for sponsoring the channel. Get your discount there by putting the discount code in tweaks, all capital letters, and you'll get money off all products, hybrid racing stuff, the lot. Yeah, you get money off. Yeah, go and check them out, and I'll leave a link in the description to their website. And until next time, catch you all later. So, excuse my daily mats that I've got in, a bit messy, but so in order to really get into the guts of the gear stick, you have to take out, there's a kind of circular clip that goes in here, and then there's a bolt in here as well. One here, one there, and one at the back here. So that's on both sides. Then what you'll find is that makes this whole centre console loose. You have to lift it up and then try and guide it through the handbrake to get this whole centre console off up to here. So we'll get that done first. So if, like me, you've got these kind of power outlets inside the centre console, there is a cable underneath. It's just a clip. Pull that clip out, and then that will allow you to take this whole assembly completely out of the way, so we can get access into the gear stick. We still need to take this one off. So this is the plugs here. Just simply squeeze the tabs and they'll come out. Don't forget the cigarette lighter connector as well. So that's just again a push clip, and out it comes, and that should totally release the centre console. And this is where you find old pound coins, old sweeties, and things that you've maybe lost before. Give it a little bit of a clean up. One thing I didn't realise till probably a few months ago is that this is where the fuel pump is, and your fuel filter and so on. Probably telling grannies how to suck eggs on this one, but yeah, I didn't know that until a few months back. So just in case anyone wanted to know that. So really, to get this off, we pretty much need to take this side panel off. Just loosen this up to here, so because you see with this joint up there, there's a kind of lip in there that's stopping this from coming out. So just need to take that off, and then we'll get this off. So just using one of the trim tools, just try and get it in the back of there, just so that you can push the clips. You'll see in here, there's a clip there, there's a clip here as well, and just get that panel off. So that's the panel off. As you can see, It's just 5 clips that hold that in. The hardest thing is actually just getting the trim tool in for the first part, but once you get a little bit of leverage behind it, it just pulls off. And then you've got this screw here that you need to loosen, and that helps you to get this panel off here, and it's just a series of clips from then on as well. So again, like the side panel, once you get that screw off, it's just a series of clips that are in here that just pop off. The only thing you have to watch for is this connector. So you just need to disconnect that so you can get it out of the way. But yeah, other than that, it's just a series of clips, and that should allow us to get this part right out now. So once you've got the clips from this side and down here, there's also one up in that top corner just by the sort of rest foot plate, and then all just pops off. So that's it completely loose. I've actually left the gear gaiter in. Some people have taken it out. I thought I'll just leave it in, see if I can get it off. So yeah, just a matter of now wiggling this free, and that hopefully should expose this whole section for me to start to put the short shifter on. So there we go. Now this section here took a little bit to get past here. You almost have to try and bring it out and try and move it around as much as you can to clear the handbrake, but then it just kind of pretty much comes out. There's no other bolts or anything on this section, other than the clips that were down the bottom that I spoke about earlier. It's just a series of clips. And yeah, here we go. So what we'll be looking to do is to pop this off. Same with down here. And the actual short shifter itself, essentially it's like an extension onto here. And what we'll need to do is just cut away a section down here. Because this is going to be extended out, that's going to start to fill the OEM shifter. So yeah, we'll need to cut a section out of there once it's all in, and then we'll see what the difference is.